Welcome to the Wine Cage. I'm Dylan.
I'm Amanda.
And this is the Wine Cage After Dark, because we were away for a while. We were in Japan for 3 weeks, and we also had to take a couple of weeks off of recording these around those. And when we got back and got ready to do these again, suddenly it's pitch black at the usual time that we record these. So we'll be playing around with different lighting setups, or maybe we'll just stick with this one if it looks all right, just to explain if things look a little different. But yeah, so we were in Japan and we were hoping to do a bit of wine stuff there. Got to admit, it didn't happen. We did have some wine, and we did stay in a hotel with a beautiful wine display on the wall. They had this big mounted map of Japan, and they had selected wines from all the different regions around the country, and then they had mounted those bottles of wine to the map. So if you want to check that out, that's in our shorts. Yes, we've started doing shorts. So there's a good little video of us panning over that map. But apart from that, had a drop of red at a restaurant and discovered that the cliche or the stereotype was true in that the red was refrigerated, which was pretty funny to me because if you've ever drank a refrigerated red, you can't taste it.
Yeah, it's not really done here where we are. I think that's actually becoming a bit of a fad here. Like, I've seen it on restaurant menus in the last couple of years. They'll have a section for refrigerated reds, which I hadn't seen before until really the last couple of years. There's usually only one or two, but
I didn't know that. So what varieties are usually listed as the refrigerated ones?
That's a good point. I haven't actually paid attention to that.
Yeah, okay. I did not know that. But anyway, I'm not a fan of refrigerated reds myself. It sort of just really makes it taste like you're drinking a premixer, something like that.
Yeah, it does bring out the fruit juiciness of it, doesn't it?
Yeah, so... And then we got sick, and just our travels and also even the kind of food we were eating, it's like we just weren't prepared to make the trip about the wine. So I'm sure we'll go back, and we did discover some great wine shops. So when we do that, we will probably go more out of our way to sample some of the wine. I feel like that's going to go hand in hand with cooking possibly ourselves as well.
Yeah.
In a place with its own kitchen and everything. Anyway, that's Japan. We're back now. We've still been drinking plenty of reds, and we are ready to tell you about them. So tonight we are back with Teusner. Do you remember Teusner? We did do a review of one of their other reds quite a while ago. I can't even remember which one it was, but was that the Avatar?
I think it was the Avatar.
Ooh, Avatar. Yeah, if you look at Avatar in our previous videos, you'll find that one. But this time, it is we spent about 5 minutes before this video realizing that we didn't know how to pronounce this, and I still don't know. Riebke 2021 Barossa Valley Vintage Shiraz. Good old Teusner with its little white tree of Gondor as its label there. So we look forward to telling you about how this wine smells and tastes, but as usual, we like to talk about the label design. So over to Amanda to do that.
Personally, I love this label. I think it's great. I think it's got a nice balance. It's very tasteful. It's very classy without being kind of stale and leaning too much on existing traditions of wine label design, which if you've seen a lot of wine labels, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I usually love that as well, depending on a few factors, but I like this is a modern take on that. It's sticking to, the classic color palette of off-white, black, and a touch of gold foil. I like that the type here is cut off. Something about that reminds me of piano keys, which I think is very classy. Typefaces have been chosen with a lot of care, I would say, looking at these. And you've got a beautiful little bit of spot gloss just on the name of this wine here. as well as on the logo. Yeah, overall, I really love it. What do you think?
I like the way they have this like pretend spill of red wine down the back of the label. That was just from us last night. I'm not sure about it myself. I don't like how it's two separate labels and they look like two different styles to me. I do appreciate that I think that's an efficiency thing. They've obviously got this label printed and ready to go on the bottles, and then they've got the different labels for all the different wines they make. So that's just a nitpicky thing. To me, it looks like it breaks one of the rules I thought was important about graphic design, in that it looks like there's quite a number of fonts and they're slightly different and conflicting.
Yes, but just as in fine art, it's all about knowing when to break the rules.
I'm sure, and I do not know when to break the rules. So it's fine. The label's just classic wine bottle. It's pretty safe. There's not much to say about it. So yeah, let's see if producer Wolfie lets me get my glass. Let's see how this one smells. You got thoughts on the nose on this one?
I think it's great. It's a tad subtle, which I don't mind. It's sort of quite dusty, a little bit dark chocolatey. It has a little bit of that petrichor kind of smell to it, don't you think?
Absolutely. Yeah. That sort of freshness coming from the atmosphere. I have that as one of my notes for the aroma on this one as well. I had down that it's fresh, floral, and dusty. So to me, it's like stepping from the garden in a farm into the dusty winemaking shed. It somehow has all of that within the nose. But it's also subtle, like you say. It's really not very strong nose. You have to basically, dip your nose into the wine to even get a sense of the nose. It's very understated, the actual aroma on this one. Yeah.
A lot more of that chocolatey sort of smell is coming through tonight, though, which I like. I like that sort of smell in a wine.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's lovely, though, isn't it? There's certainly no notes on the aroma that are off-putting or harsh or sharp or make you concerned about what you're about to drink. So, yeah, speaking of that, let's see how this actually tastes. You went first on the nose. Would you like to go first on the taste?
Up front, it's quite punchy, I think. It sort of hits you with a little bit of everything. There's a bit of sweetness there, a little bit of sourness and bitterness as well, which is not a bad thing if it's balanced, which in this case I think it is. It's got a touch of savouriness as well, which is nice in a Shiraz, I think, and quite a lot of pepper as well.
Absolutely, yeah, quite savoury. I think we've reviewed a few Shirazes on this channel where we've been kind of disappointed. It hasn't really met your expectations of a Shiraz. This, I would say, is the opposite. It definitely meets your expectations. It tastes how you want a Shiraz to taste, or at least how I do. So I've got down that it's a satisfying, dry, and dusty Shiraz. It's got that earthiness that I love in a good Shiraz. I was thinking that if Shiraz was something that you could tap from the ground, like a natural Shiraz spring bubbling up from the soil and the rocks underground, this would be that.
It's a nice way of putting it.
It's a nice thought too, isn't it?
It is.
Imagine there were
Shiraz well in your backyard.
Yeah, imagine there were natural spring regions you could go to where there was just pumps with great Shiraz coming out of them. That's what this tastes like. I often describe Shirazes that I like as having a good, dirty sort of taste. This has that. It's not actually that it's super heavy. It's not like a Dirif. It's not full of sediment, but it has that earthiness that I want from a Shiraz. And interestingly, I don't think Shiraz comes from the ground. I'm not sure. But
if you go back far enough in the chain of wine production, it does. But
I guess so. Now, we noticed on the back of this that it says the Riebke family have some of the best kept vineyards in the Ebenezer district.
We need to know more about this because we've been drinking wine for a long time and we have not heard of the Ebenezer district.
Yeah, so I've never heard of that. But I don't know, I'm highly curious. I feel like if we go there, it's going to be the start of a Tim Burton movie.
I hope so.
We're going to go there and we're going to have to check into some old inn that's going to feel like the prancing pony out of Lord of the Rings, and there's going to be a murder, and I'm pretty sure that all of this is going on in the Ebenezer region. So definitely worth looking into and possibly worth a gonzo journalistic trip there for us.
Yes, well, you're dressed for the occasion at least.
Always ready.
Always.
Yeah, we're always ready to be in a Tim Burton movie. Just waiting, really. Come on, Tim. Anyway, so we like the Teusner Shiraz 2021, the Riebke Shiraz 2021. What's your rating out of 10?
I think I'd give this a solid 8.
Yeah, for me, this is a solid 8 as well. I have to admit, I think I feel like I was pushing it a bit with the 8 rating in that it doesn't have wow factor. This isn't one of those reds or specifically Shirazes where you open it and sip and go, oh my God, this is something special. It's not quite that. What it is a very solid Shiraz that is completely not going to disappoint you. You're going to open it, you're going to be, I feel like a Shiraz, you're going to taste it and think, hell yeah, this is a Shiraz. That was our reaction. We switched to this wine when we finished another bottle last night. We were very happy when we switched.
Yes.
We thought, this is great. So highly recommend this one. Another good one from Teusner. Go out there and pick it up. As always, please let us know if you've had any great reds in the last week or two. Give us the name and the year so that we can check them out, look them up, and hopefully pick one up for ourselves. This one was about $25, so pretty good price. Not crazy inexpensive, but certainly not expensive. I think for us, this would be a definite repurchase. Do you think? Yeah. So that's going to be another one for the wine cage. That is the Teusner Riebke Vintage Barossa 2021 Shiraz. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.